Mataji, we may start now.
Okay, Mataji, thank you.
Yeah, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, pranam to all the devotees. Is everyone able to hear me?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes,
May I see all the enlightened faces of all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis? It will be very nice if I can see all of you. Please switch on your cameras.
Yeah, after a long time, Mataji.
Interactive session.
After a long time you're coming.
Happy Kamika Ekadashi to all of you. And we are so fortunate,
Mataji.
thanks to Sitarani Mataji and ICF, to give me this opportunity to discuss Chaitanya Charitamrita on Ekadashi today. So first we'll have Mangalacharan. All the devotees can recite together. Om Ajnanaatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parichana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauravvishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Rupesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Okam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatam ham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paravanandamadavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Naham Vipro na Chanarapati Nabi Vaishro na Shudro Naham Varni na Chaturapati Movanasto Yatirva Kintu Prodyan Nikhila Parmananda Purna Mritabdhe Gopi Bhartur Pada Kamalayo Dasa Dasanu Dasaha Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, Chapter 13, Text 98. So, feeling very blessed that reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, description of Ratha Yatra, sitting here in Sri Mayapur Dham. So, all of you, please bless me that I may be able to speak something in glorification of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vaishnavas can raise their hands, devotees. So I will tell each of you to read each shloka. Okay, thank you. Arun Prabhuji, text 98. You may read the shloka and the translation. Okay, if there is in between any explanation, then I will say.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhura nritya dekhi loke haila chamatkara anya achuk jagannathera ananda apara. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Everyone was astonished by the dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and even Lord Jagannath became extremely happy to see him. Hare Krishna.
So, as we all know, this is the description of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dancing during the Rath Yatra in Jagannath Puri Dham, and how Lord Jagannath is reciprocating with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, everyone is astonished by the dancing of Lord Chaitanya, and even Lord Jagannath is extremely happy to see him. So, we will see further how the Lord reciprocates with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Srimati Radharani, Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani, and Jagannath is Krishna. So there is a beautiful reciprocation here that we are going to read. Text 99, Sindhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 99. रथ स्थिर कैला आगे न करे गमना अनिमेष नेत्र करे नित्य दर्शना. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The car came to a complete standstill and remained immobile while Lord Jagannatha, with unblinking eyes, watched the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, sometimes the car would stand still and Lord Jagannath would wait to see Lord Chaitanya dancing. And then further, Swati Mataji, text 100.
Hare Krishna Mataji, text 100. So, Subhadra Balaramera Hridaye
Ullasa
Nritya Deki Doi Janara Shri Mukhete Hasa. Translation. Subhadra and Lord Balarama both felt great happiness and ecstasy within their hearts. Indeed, they were seen smiling and the dancing. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Thank you. So as we see, Lord Balaram and Subhadra, with their broad smiles, they felt great happiness and ecstasy just to see the dancing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 101. Uddanda Nritya Prabhura Adbhuta Vikara Ashta Satvikaha Bhava Udaya Haya Samakala. Translation. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high, 8 wonderful transformations indicative of divine ecstasy were seen in his body. All the symptoms were visible simultaneously.
Very good. So as we all have heard from Nectar of Devotion, there are 8 wonderful transformations. Like they are called Ashta Satvika Vikaras, which show different transformations within the body of the person who is experiencing very highest type of rasa, ecstasy, Mahabhava. And this was the time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited it. There were very few occasions during his pastimes, but this is one of those when he wonderfully exhibited publicly these transformations. And it happened simultaneously as he was dancing. So at the end, I will be asking the quiz, what happened and what kind of transformations. So please be attentive and let us all concentrate and read very, very alert. Text 102, Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam. Mamsa Vrana Samaroma Vrinda Pola Kita Simulira Vrikshayena Kantaka Veshtita. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His skin erupted with goose pimples and the hairs of his body stood on end. His body resembled the simuli silk cotton tree all covered with thorns. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So you can imagine corona, something like corona, like a cotton tree covered with thorns. So shimuli flower looks like that. So his body resembled like that, as if because his hairs was standing on end, so it looked like that thorns. cotton ball covered with thorns. So skin with goose pimples, hairs on the body stood on end, and the body looked like Shimuli. Okay. Okay. So please make a note of all this. Next, text 103, Chandan.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krishna.
एका एका दंतेरा कंपा धेकी ते लागे भाया लोके जाने दंत सभा कासिया पढ़ाया. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Indeed, the people became afraid just to see his teeth chatter, and they even thought that his teeth would fall out. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Teeth were chattering. Okay. Next, 104, Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Matai Dandat Pranam. Sarvangi prasveda chute tata ruptodgama jaja gaga gada gada vachana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's whole body flowed with perspiration and at the same time oozed blood. He made the sound Jaja Gaga in a voice choked with ecstasy.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji. So just like we perspire from our body pores, sweat comes. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited blood coming out from the body pores. This is also one of the Ashtasattvic Vikara. And he was so much excited to say the names of Lord Jagannath that in ecstasy, his voice was choked and he could not say full name Jagannath, but he was like Jajagaga. So his ecstasy knew no bounds. 105, Mohandas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Kalayantra daraiche vahe asujala asha pashe lokayata bijala sakala. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tears came forcefully from the eyes of the Lord as if from a syringe, and all the people surrounding him became wet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So you can imagine, just like syringes, the tears are coming straight and going so far that it was making people wet, those who were surrounding him. This was the force of tears that was coming out from the eyes of the Lord. Navakishori Mataji, text 106.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. देहकांति गौरवर्ण देखिए रूणा कबू कांति देखी यना मल्लिका पुष्पा सामा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Everyone saw the complexion of his body change from white to pink, so that his luster resembled that of the Mallika flower.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Before, which flower we compared, it is compared to, his body was like Shimuli flower. And now the skin, the complexion of his body changed from white to pink, and it resembled which flower? Mallika flower. Okay. Next, 107, Shobha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam Mataji, Hari Bol. Text number 107. Khabu stamba khabu prabhu bhumite lotaya sushka kashta sama pada hasta na chalaya. Hare Krishna. Translation by Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sometimes he appeared stunned and sometimes he rolled on the ground. Indeed, sometimes his legs and hands became as hard as dry wood and he did not move. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam Mataji, Hari Bol.
Lalita Mataji, 108.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Kabhu bhume pare kabhu shvasaha yahina yaha dekhi bhakta ganera pranaha yakshina. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When the Lord fell to the ground, sometimes his breathing almost stopped. When the devotees saw this, their lives also became very feeble. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So as these symptoms were exhibited and the Lord was totally in ecstasy, sometimes his body was so lustrous, sometimes his body showed so many transformations, and sometimes he would fall to the ground so hard, and it would seem that his breathing almost stopped. When the devotees saw this, they became very, very worried. 109, Krishnamurti Mataji. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. काबुल नेत्रे नासाय जला मुखे पादे पहने अमृतेर धर चंद्र बिंबे वाहे यानये. Translation Vesi Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Water flowed from his eyes and sometimes through his nostrils, and foam fell from his mouth. These flowings appear to be the torrents of the nectar descending from the moon. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So the Lord, although exhibiting such symptoms, all these symptoms are transcendental, have nothing to do with material secretions from anyone's body. So this water which flowed from his eyes and nostrils and foam came out from his mouth, they appeared like torrents of nectar descending from the moon. So it is so divine. Sindhu Mataji, 110.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Se phena lana shubhananda kailapana Krishna prema rasika teno mahabhagyavana. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The foam that fell from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taken and drunk by Shubhananda because he was very fortunate and expert in relishing the mellow of ecstatic love of Krishna.
Thank you. So actually nothing happens by chance. When someone is getting some mercy, that means it is the Lord's desire. So this devotee in particular, he got to drink that nectar coming from the mouth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And his name is Shubhananda, because he was very expert in relishing the mellow of ecstatic love for Krishna. So because he was very expert in relishing the mellow, he could get that mercy. So sometimes when we see that some other Vaishnava is getting some mercy, maybe Guru Maharaj is appreciating, or maybe that person is getting some appreciation from other devotees, sometimes we may feel, why not me? But we must understand that if somebody is getting some mercy, that means that person is very dear to Krishna and Guru Maharaj. So we must be very eager to serve that devotee so that we may also get some drops of that mercy. In the material world, everyone is trying to pull others down. But this is what we learn from the pages of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, that every devotee is very eager to serve others because they want to get that drop of mercy. And that is what the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita is. Loving reciprocation between the Lord and his devotees and between the devotees themselves. So, going further, text 111. Arun Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Ei mata tandava nritya kaila kata kata shana bhava visheshe prabhura praveshila mana. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had performed his devastating dance for some time, his mind entered into a mood of ecstatic love. Hare Krishna.
Hare, thank you. After performing a wonderful dance for a long time, the Lord, his mind entered into a mood of ecstatic love. And then further, 112, Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam. तांडव नृत्य छाड़ी स्वरूपे रे अच्छा धीला हृदय जानिया स्वरूपा गाईते लगीला. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. After abandoning the dancing, the Lord ordered Swarupa Damodara to sing. Understanding his mind, Swarupa Damodara began to sing as follows. Thank you, Mataji.
113, Krishnamurti Prabhu. This is a very beautiful shloka, which we will see now. So please read it very nicely. Sing it. It is sung by Srimati Radharani.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Seyita parananata paino yahalagi madana dahane juri de geno. I think I have not recited well, Mataji. Sorry. Translation Bhakti Prabhupada ki jai. Now I have gained the Lord of my life, in the absence of whom I was being burned by Cupid and was withering away. Hare Krishna Mataji. Please, Mataji, please recite yours. We can able to hear.
You're muted, Mataji. Your voice is not audible.
Mataji, please recite, Mataji.
You're muted. Mataji is muted.
Okay. Mataji itself muted.
Hare Krishna. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Now we can hear.
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu, read that purport also, Prabhuji.
Purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. This song refers to Srimati Radharani's meeting with Krishna at the holy place of Kurukshetra, where Lord Sri Krishna and his brother and sister came to visit when there was a solar eclipse. It is a song of separation from Krishna. When Radharani met Krishna at Kurukshetra, she remembered his intimate association in Vrindavana, and she thought, now I have gained the Lord of my life. In his absence, I was being burned by the arrow of Cupid, and thus I was withering away. Now I have my life again. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So this is...
Please, if you don't mind, please recite that verse, Mataji.
Prabhu, yes, Prabhu. Seita parananatha painu yahalagi madana dahane churigenu. This is line that Srimati Radharani has sung at the bank of Ganga in Kurukshetra, where, as you all know, Ratha Yatra is the heart of Ratha Yatra is all the gopis. They are bringing Krishna, Balaram and Subhadra back to their home, that is Vrindavan, into their heart. So this shloka, this song, was recited by Srimati Radharani in Kurukshetra when she and all the gopis, they saw Krishna on the Rath as a king from Dwarka. So they were so happy to see Krishna after so many years of separation. So this is the first time they have seen Krishna after long separation. And that is when Srimati Radharani sings this song, that now I have gained the Lord of my life, in the absence of whom I was being burnt by Cupid and was withering away. So Srila Prabhupada mentions this incident, and thus you can imagine what must be the state of separation and the ecstasy at the same time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is in the mood of Srimati Radharani, and he is meeting Lord Jagannath, Krishna. So we can only imagine. Navakishori Mataji, 114.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Eduya ucheya sware gaya damodara anande madhura nitya karena ishvara. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. When this refrain was loudly sung by Swarupa Damodar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again began rhythmically dancing in transcendental bliss. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanyaprana, thank you.
So Swarup Damodar, as we all know, he is not different from, who will tell? Who is he in Krishna Leela?
Arjuna?
Yeah.
He is Arjuna also, and in the Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan, he is
one of the principal gopis, Mataji.
One of the gopis.
Sorry?
Saki Vishaka.
No, he is
One-
Lalita Sakhi.
Lalita, yeah.
Lalita,
Vishaka is Amara, you know, Vishaka.
it is said in the Kavi Karnapur, in Gaur Ganodesh Dipika by Krishna Kavi Karnapur, that Swarup Damodar is Lalita Sakhi and Ramananda Rai is Vishakha Sakhi. Some places also it is said Swarup Damodar is Vishakha Sakhi and Ramananda Rai is Lalita Sakhi. But whatever may be the case, but they were one of the closest Sakhis to Radharani, and they knew which mood Srimati Radharani is, and accordingly they would sing the songs. So Swarup Damodar is the one who could understand what mood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, or what mood he would like to hear the particular songs or particular bhajans. So he started singing this song by Srimati Radharani in a particular rhythm. And thus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started dancing in transcendental bliss. Chandana Mataji, text 115.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
धीरे धीरे जगन्नाथा करे न गमना आगे नृत्य करी चले ना सचीरा नंदना. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The car of Lord Jagannatha began to move slowly while the son of Mother Shachi went ahead and danced in front. Thank you, Mother.
So you can see now the reciprocation has started. Lord Jagannath's cart would move slowly and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go in the front and he would dance. So then, next 116, Sindhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 116. Jagannathe netra diya sabe nache gaya kirtaniya saha prabhu pache pache aya. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. While dancing and singing, all the devotees in front of Lord Jagannatha kept their eyes on him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the end of the procession with the Sankirtana performers.
Haribol. So this is now how the play is started. Jagannath is very happy to see and hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and see him dance. And while singing and dancing, Lord Jagannath kept his eyes on, all the devotees kept their eyes on Lord Jagannath. And then slowly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the end of procession with the Sankirtan performers behind the cart. Then what would happen? Let us see. 117, Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Jagannathe Magna Prabhura Nayana Hridaya Shri Hasta Yuge Kare Gitera Abhinaya. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His eyes and mind fully absorbed in Lord Jagannatha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to play the drama of the song with his two arms. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. 118, Kishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text 118. Gauraya Deepa chale Shama highest rai. Gaura aage chale Shama chale dheere dheere. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dramatically enacting the song, he would sometimes fall behind in the procession. At such times, Lord Jagannatha would come to a standstill. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again went forward, Lord Jagannath's car would slowly start again. Hare
Krishna. So we can see this reciprocation started. The play has started. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go at the back and Lord Jagannath would stop. He would not go ahead. Then when again Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come in the front of the car and start dancing, then slowly the cart would start moving. Text 119, Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Eimat Gaura Shami Done Tela Teli Swara Teshta Rata Raki Gaura Mahabali. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thus, there was a sort of competition between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannatha in seeing who would lead. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so strong that he made Lord Jagannath wait in his car.
Yes, Mataji, please
Thank
read
you,
the
Mataji.
important part.
Also? Yeah. Yeah. In his Anubhasya, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur describes the ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as follows. After giving up the company of the gopis in Vrindavana, Sri Krishna, the son of Maharaja Nanda, engaged in his pastimes at Dwarka. When Krishna went to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister and others from Dwarka, he again met the inhabitants of Vrindavana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Bhava Dyuti Swalita. That is Krishna himself assuming the part of Srimati Radharani in order to understand Krishna. Lord Jagannatha Deva is Krishna and Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Srimati Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's leading Lord Jagannatha towards the Gundicha temple corresponded to Srimati Radharani's leading the Krishna towards Vrindavana. Sri Kshetra Jagannath Puri was taken as the kingdom of Dwarka, the place where Krishna enjoys supreme opulence. But he was being led by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Vrindavan, the simple village where all the inhabitants are filled with ecstasy love for Krishna. Sri Kshetra is a place of Aishwarya Leela, just as Vrindavan is a place of Madhurya Leela. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's following at the rear of the Ratha indicated that Lord Jagannatha Krishna was forgetting the inhabitants of Vrindavana. Although Krishna neglected the inhabitants of Vrindavana, he could not forget them. Thus, in his opulent Ratha Yatra, he was returning to Vrindavana. In the role of Srimati Radharani, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was examining whether the Lord still remembered the inhabitants of Vrindavana. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell behind the Ratha car, Jagannatha Deva, Krishna himself, understood the mind of Srimati Radharani. Therefore, Jagannatha sometimes fell behind the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to indicate to Srimati Radharani that he had not forgotten. Thus, Lord Jagannatha would stop the forward march of the Ratha and wait at the standstill. In this way, Lord Jagannatha agreed that without the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, he could not feel satisfied. While Jagannatha was thus waiting, Gaura Sundara Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, immediately came forward to Krishna. At such times, Lord Jagannatha would proceed ahead very slowly. These competitive exchanges were all part of the love affair between Krishna and Srimati Radharani. In that competition between Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy for Lord Jagannatha and Jagannatha's ecstasy for Srimati Radharani, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emerged successful. Thank you, Mataji.
Oh, thank you.
Pranam.
So, as we all know, the incarnation of Lord Chaitanya is one of the internal reasons why he appeared on this earth is to taste the sweetness of Srimati Radharani's love. So, this is one of the occasions during Ratha Yatra that he fully tasted that nectar of what Radharani feels for Krishna in serving him. So, this is the indication that our acharyas have given, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that this is the reciprocation between Radha and Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was emerging successful through his exchanges of love with Lord Jagannath. So text 120, Sudha Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम. नाचीते नाचीते प्रभुरा हईला भावंतरा हस्ता तोली श्लोका पडे करी उच्च ईश्वरा. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing, his ecstasy changed. Raising his two arms, he began to recite the following verse in a loud voice. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
Krishna. Sitarani Mataji, would you like to recite text 121?
Yes, sure, Mataji. Oh, this is Sanskrita.
Yeah, you can.
Yau kaumara harasva eva hi varasa ta eva chaitra शपास ते कोन्मिलित मालती सुरभयः प्रौढुः कदम्बानिलः स चैवांसि तथापि तत्र सुरत व्यापारलीलाविदौ रेवारोदसी वेतसी तरुतले चेतसमुत्कण्ठते.
Very good.
Can you just scroll up?
Yes.
Yeah. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of Malti flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vetasi tree. That is my desire. Purport: this verse appears in the Padyavali, number 386. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. As we see, most of the times, Lord Chaitanya would not reveal who he was. And if somebody claimed that he is the Supreme Lord, he would cover his ears and he would say, Vishnu, 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 to indicate that as a devotee, one should never consider he is somebody very great, because his incarnation was as an example how to surrender to Krishna. He came in the form of a devotee, but still that mood of Srimati Radharani was there, for which he came, for which he appeared, and only for rare occasions he tasted that sweetness. So this is a very esoteric pastime, even though externally it seems ordinary pulling of ratha and everybody's dancing, everybody's singing, but it has a very esoteric meaning and mood of Sri Radha's love for Krishna. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is the first verse he recites during, actually there are 3 verses that he recites. This is one, and the other one is Naham Vipro Narapati. I think you read it in the last chapter. And we will see further also he recites one more verse. So this is the verse which appears in Padyavali, and Srimati Radharani herself has sung this, and then Lord Chaitanya also recites this. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of Malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I am also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I am eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva. Reva is Yamuna river, under the Vetasi tree. And that is my desire. So this is the internal mood of Sri Jagannath Ratha Yatra. And we are so fortunate by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. He has given access to this mercy to each and everyone all over the world. So we must be very grateful to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now Kishori Mataji, text 122.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Text 122.
122, okay माता जी, sorry, thank you. ईशो का महाप्रभु पढ़े बारा बारा स्वरूपा विना अर्था कहे केहा न जाने हारा. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. This verse was recited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again, but for Swarup Damodara, no one could understand its meaning. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you.
So devotional service is itself an open secret. Even though openly recited, nobody could understand the meaning. So just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this is an open secret. It's a mysterious science which is open for all, but only few can understand who are surrendered through a bona fide Guru Parampara, right? So same way, even though Lord Chaitanya was reciting this verse again and again publicly, but nobody could understand its inner meaning except for Swarup Damodar. Here, Swarup Damodar also represents Guru Tattva. Srila Prabhupada says in one of the places that even during Gundicha Marjan, when that devotee who washed the feet of Lord Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu says to Swarup Damodar, see this Bengali Vaishnava of yours. Please teach him. So this is how Prabhupada explains there also in the purport that particularly Bengali Vaishnava, meaning all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are under Swarup Damodar Goswami because he represents Guru Tattva. Yes, text 123, Mohan Das Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeyi shlokartha purve kari yachi vakyana shlokera bhavartha kari sankshepe akhyana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. I have already explained this verse. Now I shall simply describe it in brief. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So in the Madhya Leela, chapter 1, verse 53, 77, 80, and 82 and 84, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains this verse. But still, because it is mentioned here, so he says that I will describe this in brief. Text 124. Sudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandat Pranam. पूर्वे यैचे कुरुक्षेत्रे सब गोपी गणा कृष्णेर दर्शन पाया आनंदिता मना. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Formerly, all the gopis of Vrindavana were very pleased when they met with Krishna in the holy place of Kurukshetra.
Yes. So now we will see few verses. This verse which Srimati Radharani recites, which Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recited, is described in brief. So formerly, all the gopis from Vrindavan, they had assembled in the holy place of Kurukshetra. Sumati Mataji, text 125.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Jagannatha dekhi prabhura se bhava uthila se bhava vishtahaya duya gaya hila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Similarly, after seeing Lord Jagannatha, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu awoke with the ecstasy of the gopis. Being absorbed in this ecstasy, he asked Swarupa Damodara to sing the refrain.
Hare Krishna. So he told Swarup Damodar to start singing this song, the refrain. Text 126. Shri Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Avase se Radha Krishna kare na nivedana sei tumi sei ami sei nava sangama. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke thus to Lord Jagannath. You are the same Krishna and I am the same Radharani. We are meeting again in the same way that we met in the beginning of our lives. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Text 127. Padma Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tatapi amara hare pitana vrindavane udaya karau apana charana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Although we are both the same, my mind is still attracted to Vrindavan Dhama. I wish that you will please again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. Navakishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. Ihane lokara. Mataji, should I recite 128?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Ihane lokaranya hati godaratha dhvani tahana pushparanya bringapika nadad suni. Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. In Kurukshetra, you are dressed like a royal prince, accompanied great warriors, but
No.
in
In Kurukshetra, there are crowds of people. Verse 128.
Sorry. I am reading other translation.
No
sorry.
problem. 128 translation.
Yes, Mataji. In Kurukshetra, there are crowds of people, elephants and horses, and also the rattling of chariots. But in Vrindavana, there are flower gardens, and the humming of the bees and chirping of the birds can be heard. Thank you,
Yes.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yes. Who else? Arun Prabhu, 129.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Ihan Raj Vesha Sange Sabha Kshatriya Gana Taha Gopa Vesha Sange Murali Vadana. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Here at Kurukshetra, you are dressed like a royal prince, accompanied by great warriors. But in Vrindavan, you appear just like an ordinary cowherd boy, accompanied only by your beautiful flute. Hare Krishna.
130. Sudha Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम ब्रजे तोमारा संगे यही सुख आस्वादन सेई सुख समुद्रेरा यह नहीं एक काना. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Here there is not even a drop of the ocean of transcendental happiness that I enjoyed with you in Vrindavana. Thank you, Mata.
Hari Bol. Text 131. Krishnamurti Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी. आमलन पुनः लीला करह वृंदावने साबे अमर मनो वंच हयतो पुराणे. Translation Prabhupada. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. I therefore request you to come to Vrindavana and enjoy pastimes with me. If you do so, my ambition will be fulfilled. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Text 132. Mohandas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Bhagavate Acheyeche Yadika Vachana Purvetaha Sutra Madhye Karyachi Varnana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I have already described in brief Srimati Radharani's statement from Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol. Yes, so we'll stop here for today because there is other section starting. But I would like to ask a small quiz to devotees. So we stopped up to 132. So those who would like to just remember for our own mind and our own intelligence to engage in Krishna's service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's service, let us meditate, because this is also very important after reading, remembering what we have read. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing during the Rath Yatra, what happened to his skin? What was the transformation, and which flower it is compared? The skin.
Mataji,
Malaika?
Mataji. Pimples came from the skin.
Shimuli flower, Mataji. Shimuli flower.
No, Shimuli
No.
flower was. Yes,
Malaika,
Mataji said it.
Oh.
Pink Malaika flower.
Correct. From pink to red. And it was compared to Mallika flower. Very nice. Then his body transformation, that is compared with?
Gold.
No, body transformed. His body became like a cotton ball with thorns. That is compared with which flower?
Simili.
Shimuli. Yes.
Shimuli.
And what about his tears? What was the speciality of his tears?
Tears came out forcefully, Mataji.
Like?
Nectar coming, Mataji.
From it's like rain.
Rain.
Syringes. Yes, it came out like syringes. Tears came out like syringes. And who was the devotee who drank the foam coming out from the mouth of Lord Chaitanya? What was his name?
Shubhananda.
Yes, Shubhananda. Very nice. And what is the other transformation given? Does anybody remember?
Foam coming out of his mouth.
Perspiration is like instead of water, blood came out.
Yes, blood coming out from the body pores. Very nice. Anything else?
Nectar coming also from nostril, Mataji.
Yes, water coming also. Nectar, yes.
He
From
could not see.
nostrils and from mouth,
From mouth.
from his eyes. Yes. Anything else?
He could not say Jagannath, he said Jaga.
Yes, he could not say in ecstasy. His voice was choked up and he was saying Jajagaga, Jajagaga. Very nice. Then
Teeth were trembling, Mataji.
teeth were
Teeth
chattering.
were trembling.
Were chattering. Very nice. What
He was
else?
stunned. He was stunned and his breathing stopped.
He was stunned, his breathing stopped, and devotees could not bear. They thought the Lord is no more. And they were very, very, very much in distress. Yes, very nice.
Hairs on the body also stood.
Yes, hairs on the body stood on end, body perspiring. Yes. And what was the reciprocation between Jagannath and would Jagannath just keep on rolling? The Rath would go on rolling? Or how would Jagannath
No, Jagannath would stop. He would stop. And
Once
then
at the back, he will stop. Then again, when he comes to front, he'll
then
move.
they would go in the front and again Rath would move.
Yes, very good. Jagannath would stop to see the dance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If he was behind, he would wait. And only when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come in the front and start dancing, then Lord Jagannath's cart would start moving. So he was showing Srimati Radharani in the form of Lord Jagannath, in the form of Lord Chaitanya, that he has not forgotten his promise to come to Vrindavan. So Rath Yatra is a very, very dear to the devotees because it shows the Lord's reciprocation with his devotees. Especially because it is the reciprocation between Lord Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of Srimati Radharani. So thank you all very much for your kind association. If there are any questions, we can take them. Any comments, questions? All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mataji, for the wonderful session and also a wonderful brainstorming revision of the session. And so wonderfully, the audience were very, they have heard it in such a way that they could recollect everything. So thank you all for being so attentive in the class. And yes, a wonderful way of doing the revision, Mataji. Thank you so much. So we would like to have you more and more times. So please let us know whenever you are free so that we can arrange some sessions for you.
Yes,
thank you so much. So if there are no questions, we can stop. Are there any questions in the session for somebody? Okay, so we'll stop, Mataji. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki